One day, somebody asked me an important question. And the question, he said, Father, why is it that there are many churches in Nigeria, yet the crime, corruption among the youth are increasing radically on daily basis? And I paused for a moment, then I started answering the question. And this is the answer I gave the person. I said to the person that as far as Nigeria is concerned, as far as this country is concerned, crime, corruption among the youth is not up to 2%. And in that setting was setting of loss of youth. Even the youth that I'm trying even to defend, they looked at me with that type of face, and said, what? Why are you saying that it's not up to 2%? We see crime every day. We see this every day. I said, yeah. I say this because Nigerian youth is one youth in this whole world that is less privileged. Nigerian youth is one youth is less, their government is less concerned about. Nobody thinks about the youth in this country. Nobody thinks about youth empowerment in this country. Nobody thinks about putting the youth forward in this country. In this country, the youth will do everything, struggle and finish their school. Many of them will go to varsity. Many of them will finish varsity. And they will come out of varsity with first class, with the highest degree you would think about. They will come out with the best result, but there will be no employment. Tell me any part of the world where such is done. Nothing is provided. In this nation, the youth, you have to build your own house. The youth have to buy their own cars. The youth has to provide their own electricity. Everybody have to provide their own electricity. Even your own street road, you people have to find a way of building it. The question is not about why is there crime. The crime and the church is not actually connected in any way. Because I will say to you, if there is no church, if there is no church around this Nigeria, if the faith is not as strong as it is, this nation would have seen worse things than as it is now. In fact, the church as it is, the preachers that are preaching every Sunday on the pulpit is in one way or the other controlling the conscience of the angry youth. Many people are angry. Many people are angry. In this nation, you cannot do anything unless you know somebody. You cannot even travel out of this nation unless you know somebody. You can't find a job unless you know somebody. You cannot work in a factory unless you know somebody. Even in a wedding, you cannot get food unless you know somebody. What type of a nation is this? You go around doing all these things. Many people driving keke on the road with doctorate degree, master's degree. Many people driving bike with master's degree. Many people are sex girls after they have finished varsity. What type of a country is this? And you still say that the youth are corrupt. The youth are not corrupt. We know those who are corrupt. We're not calling them. We're not talking about them. But we know those who are corrupt. If you provide job for the youth, situation will be better. If you provide work for this, our youth, if you create factory and people go into the factory and work, things will be better for our own people. This will be better for our own people. But nobody is thinking about that. And the worst part of it is this. Our own youth are believing that themselves they are corrupt. They are doing it. I want to say this. They are doing what they can do to put bread on their table. Think about during the lockdown. There were palliatives. But where did they find the palliatives? In warehouses. Nobody received anything. Some people use palliative for their own parties. This is the worst thing that we see in this government, in this nation. And I'm saying this to us. Our youth are not corrupt. Give them job and we know whether they will continue to beg. That's why most of them are becoming beggars on a daily basis. Some of them are begging. Not because they cannot do any other thing, but there is nothing to do. There's no even little capital to start hawking on the street or hawking on the road. And I'm saying this, I say this is my answer to the person that asked me this question. But I want to highlight this. Most of the time they say church and churches and all those things. And people should actually be careful about making everything look the same. This is Catholic Church. This church and some of these things that you people are calling churches are not the same. You can't call one ugly person that just woke up in every morning and buy suit and all those things and call himself pastor and you say all these things are churches and all those things. We should have standard. And we should think about it. We know the church that preached the good news. We know the church that is handed down. We are not talking about everything you will see, every warehouse where there is a microphone and musical instrument, we call it a church. So my answer to you is this. The church is keeping a lot of things in equilibrium. The church is keeping a lot of things down. And that's why we are doing this. So we should thank God for the gift of the church in our nation. The gift of vibrant preachers in this nation. And that's why many people are still calm in what they do. And that is my answer. And may God bless you. And I'm saying to you, among the youth, there is little or no corruption. We can only identify corruption when we have provided for them and they say they don't want to work, or when we have provided job and they say they don't want to do that job, or when we have done this and they are still doing all sorts of things. We still see all these things. That's when we say they are corrupt. For now, our youth are not corrupt. God bless you.